Hey, what's up? It is DJ Mono. Has been very busy since I've been hanging out with Giant Software and Case. So today we're going to talk about all the mods that released over the last few days. A total 51 mods were released across, I believe it was 2 days. We're going to take a look at all of them on platforms, 29 new and 5 updates, PC and Mac, 8 new and 9 updates. If you like staying updated, get subscribed and let's do this. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. Starting off with some new ones for all platforms, and we're going to start with tractors and vehicles. First, the Deutz-Fahr DX3 Series. Now, this comes in 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive models, and they're actually really cheap. 15 grand for a starting price on the 2-wheel and 18 for the 4-wheel. I'm going to show you customization on the 2-wheel drive today. 65 horsepower, manual transmission, 84 liters of fuel, 18 miles an hour, weighs 2.7 tons. It's a fairly small tractor overall. Cover, you can throw that on there if you want to. Looks great. And we also get a new option down here as well. We'll take a look at that. Engine options themselves, we have that 65 horsepower, we do a 71 as well. Wheel brands include Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, BKT, Vredestein, Nokian, and back in. We do have a couple different wheel setups as well. Front weight, we have a standard, 140, 210, 280, 350, back to standard, and then we have front loaders of Quickie, Hauer, and Nada. Now, if we put a cover on there, we also get a beacon option as well, so no beacon if you don't have that. So heads up through there. And then we also have main color, which is going to be the frame. Now, it starts with that kind of bluish that you can kind of get used to with the Deutz-Fahr. I do prefer the black on there, though. And again, the 4-wheel drive is the same. Minus one difference. I do want to mention this. We do have front fenders, so there is that. Next up, we have the Valtra BM BH Series. This comes with 3 models, and we have 6 tractors total. So we have the BH 140 with or without the cabin. Still going to be a top on there, but it's not going to be enclosed. We also have the BM Series, same setup there, and then the BM 115, 125. So actually, instead of having the smallest tractor on the left and largest on the right, it actually starts with the big ones on the left-hand side. One thing to note, customization options are basically identical for these as well. So just a heads up there, it's really just going to be a couple different model differences on the front of the tractor. And then this one right here, the very first one, the BH, this has a few extra options. So we'll show you this one and I'll tell you what's what. So on here, we have front weight of 200, 400, 600, and front grille options. Engines, of course, they're all going to have a little bit of different engine options. So you can choose what you like through there. Wheel options from Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, BKT, and Lizard. Now in Lizard, of course, this being a South American tractor, we do have some very interesting things in here, including the narrow and the cage, which is very cool. Fenders. Now, this one has rear fender options as well as front. The other ones only have front, so you can see those through there. Roof setup, this is exclusive for this model. The other ones do not have that. They've all got GPS, however, depending on which tractor you go for, this one puts it on the front and the other two puts it on the top. All the exhausts are the same. They're just going to be different places. Front loaders, you've got Quickie, Hauer, or Nada, and then you've got your colors. I like the blue, so we go with the blue. And then you've got room colors as well. Otherwise, they're all the same. Next up, the new Holland CX from Kamji. This has got 374 horsepower on here. We can change that up, so that's the CX 870 from 2016 through 2018. We can also do the same one from 2020 to 2023 and 2024, which is very cool. Kind of nice that we have a lot of different options there, and no offense, I'm going with the brand new one. Yes, I am. We also have configurations. We have 9,500 liters. We have 11.5, 13.5, 18.5 unrealistic, which is just 18.5. I'm not sure how unrealistic that is. I think it just adds 5,000 liters out of nowhere. As far as everything else, variable transmission, obviously, 1,200 liters of fuel, 18 miles per hour, and with that capacity. It's also pretty heavy at 24 tons. Wheel options, we have some Michelin white walls on here. Let's go, man. We also have Trelleborg, Continental, Midas, BKT. We also have New Holland with a crawler track, couple different setups for that with the rear tire, and then back to our Michelin white walls. You don't have to have those if you don't want to, though, but hey, they're quite iconic for this. Real dashboard, you can throw that on there if you want. GPS system, we have New Holland, we have the Green Star, New Holland GPS on a 9,500 liter tank. and the 11. We also have it on a 13 and the 5. So make sure that you choose the right tank if you're going to go for one of those. We also have a Starfire 7000 on there if you want something new. Extras, we got warning signs. We got a triangle. We got both of them. Air horn pack with a triangle and the warning signs, or nada. Straw distribution around towards the back. So we have a standard 6 meter, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then back in. As far as our decals, you can change these up a little bit. Do love those tiger ones, which are very, very cool. And then we have some design decals. So you can throw on the 20th anniversary or not. As far as design lights, we've got those all the way down the side, which is super cool. We also have a pipe of long flex or standard. We also have a standard long as well. Also, main color, check this out. We got all kinds of stuff in here. That is very, very cool. Rim colors of white or gray, and then you got your license plate. Now, we also have some other stuff in this pack as well, including the 30, 50, 41-foot header. It's a 12 meters, 6 miles per hour, and you can throw the 20th anniversary on there as well. That is so awesome. And of course, same thing here on the corn header as well. As far as I can tell, these are some base game stuff, but we do have those new designs on there. These are very unique, and if you're a New Holland fan, I'm imagining you're pretty excited about these right now, because I definitely am. More New Holland, you ask? Well, if you insist, from the same model, we have the New Holland CX 7 and 8, 2001 through 2006. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, this has been out on PC for a little while now, and actually the version for PC is still different than this. This is the all-platform version. We'll actually talk about the update for PC a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. So, what do we got? Well, we've got the combine, we've got 2 headers, and we have a header trailer. If you go for the PC-only version of this, or if you're on PC and you have both for some reason, this down here, the name is going to say, like, automatic loading of header or something like that. So, if it doesn't say that, you've got the Crossplay version. Customization options include a configuration for the bins. We have 6700, 8000, 105, 116, and then back down to 7600. We got 218 horsepower in here. We go up to 238, 252, 272 with a couple different models from the 780 as well as the 820. So it's going to be changing on the side there. We can also go up to 299, 333, 374, and then we are back down. So that's where the 7 and 8 comes from. Wheel options from Michelin, Trelleborg, Continental, Midas, BKT, and back into Michelin. Do we have white walls on this one? Because that was pretty sweet. No white walls, but we got duals, so that's pretty good too. GPS, we've got GPS Mod Hub. We also have by New Holland, and then we've got on the various places. You don't get GPS with that, but it's there. Also, New Holland logo. We got a couple different setups for that. Where's that at? Okay, ran around towards front. Sweet. I like that, so we'll go with that. Warning signs, we've got warning signs. We've got a triangle. We've got both of those. We also have straw spreading systems. No! Standard size, 6 meters. We also have a 7, 8, 9, 10, and then back in. Flags, we've got Poland, Germany, Great Britain, Brazil, France, USA, nada. Air horn pack, yes and no. CB radio, yes and no. Trailer hitch around towards the back. This matters a lot. So, do we have a trailer hitch to start with? No, we do not. You throw in a medium size or the really long one if you want to. There you go. Pipe, we have a small, standard, and back to small again. Tank plates color. We can change that up around towards the front. Rim color. Do we have yellow? We do have yellow. Yo, look at this thing right here. That is very cool. I'm going to give me one of those. Header for this one, we have an 8.5 meter header. No special customization or anything. The corn header is a 10 meter, 4.2, 2.7. It's quite heavy, so good luck. And then we have a header trailer, which will work perfectly with those. We also have a bunch of control groups, like 7 of them. They include options for doors, mirrors, interior, exterior, steering wheel, curtain, warning signs, and then, of course, yo header. Next up, CaseIH 1660 Axial-Flow, and for some reason, Case and IH is all one word, so you're not going to find it where you would expect. Just heads up through there. Engine options, we have the 1660 with 190 horsepower. We also have an unrealistic one with 455 if you want some extra power. Engine options, or wheel setups rather. From standard, we have a crawler track as well, so you've got that if you want to. It is yellow. You cannot change it. Reflectors, we can do yellow, red and nada capacities of 6340, and then we have 15,000, which is not bad. And the main color, this is an interesting one. You can change it up. However, there are some red bits that just will not change no matter what you do. So heads up through there, no header options. Next up, we have a pretty neat machine. This is the Raxor 6300 Blackhawk. Very, very cool. This mod includes the Grimy Raxor 6300 Blackhawk, which was shown at the Hanover Fair in 2015. This type of combine can be found in Poland. Additionally, the package includes a version from the Row Show in 2021. So very neat that we get some special editions of things that were in real life. Now, let's jump in and take a look at what we get in the game. 653 horsepower with a variable transmission, 1,300 liters of fuel, 24 miles per hour max speed. It holds 45,000 liters, 33 tons at 6 miles an hour. Now, wheel options from Michelin. We have those white walls again. Same model as before. Trelleborg, Continental, Midas, BKT, Bridgestone, and Nokian tires. Now, I like those Blackhawk 2015, so we will leave those on there. Model type, we have that Blackhawk right there. We also have the regular Raxor, and then we could do the Raxor Row Show from 2021. So you could choose up with those. Harvesting width, we've got 4 meter, or standard rather is, well, it doesn't say. I'm assuming it's 3 meters. We also have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and no. Yeah, I definitely want to figure out what's going on with there. Real dashboard, you could use that, yes, if you want to, but it does nothing for consoles. CB radio, we've got that. GPS, again, you can choose it if you want to, but it does nothing for consoles. Capacity, 45,000 liters. We also have 145,000 liters. Nice. And then main colors, if I could choose it here, there you go. You can change it up to red if you want, but we want that to be black. We also have different wheel options too, which I'm just going to stick with black because it looks awesome. Now, there is a PC-only version of this as well, which will also do potatoes. However, the Crossplay version will only do sugar beets. This is quite an awesome-looking machine as it goes around, and it articulates fantastically. Turning's a little tight, but hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and unfold this bad boy and see what we get. The header kind of disappears from what I think was like a header trailer kind of thing. Yeah, there you go. Drop it down, turn it on, and we are good. Now, I do want to see if there's anything else that we could do with this as well. Let's see, we do have control groups for, say, doors, mirrors, interior, ladder, steering wheel, curtain, and then back in, so it doesn't look like there's anything else. And we will go with it. Kind of interesting that the working area drops off to the left there a little bit. I don't know what's going on with that, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, that's about it. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Just a little bit odd that the left side does what it does, but what are you going to do? Moving along now, we have the Beltz TBR 30,000. This is from Beltz as well as Agritono and Sir Vertex. We talked a little bit about this at Farm Sim News, I think, but it's been a little while. But hey, they are out now. 30,000 liter capacity on here. We've also got the fertilizer distributor as well as a solid manure distributor. So you can go between 3 different sets of trailers there. Wheel options from Trelleborg, BKT, and Nokian, as well as Michelin, Bridgestone, and a little out of order, but that'll do all right, but it's what it is. 230 horsepower is required for this, weighs 10 tons, 16 meter spread at 11 miles an hour. That's not all, because we also have a pair, the Beltz TVB 18,000. We have the tanker itself, and then we have the incorporated slurry spread bars as well. So this will do water. I'm not quite sure why it says we got water on there, but hey, we've got a manure system installed, don't I? I need to uninstall that so that nobody gets confused on here. On this, 18,000 liter capacity, as you would expect, 5.9 tons, 180 horsepower is required on this one, 12 meters and 9 miles an hour. So we have that. This one, you cannot hook up anything to it. Trelleborg, BKT, Nokian, Michelin, Bridgestone tires, same thing as the trailer. And then we could change up the color of the piston, which is it really just those few little itty bitty colors on the side? Well, all right. And then this one, same thing there, 18 meter spread, 9 miles an hour. Is it the same for both? No. Okay, so a little bit better here. Next is the small trailer. However, when you click on it, it is one axle trailer, 1.8 thousand liter capacity on there. You can, well, I would say bump it up, but It just changes the visuals on there. However, we do have a 4,400 liter capacity version in a few different variants. Now, if we go over here to main color, we change that up. It's going to be the outline. We do have frame, which frame is frame, thank goodness. Sheets, let's change this up to a nice green. There you go. And the rim colors are rim colors. Next, Lizard OptiCut. There is a PC-only version of this that we'll take a look at later in the video. However, this one is for all platforms. There's quite a few versions of these. They're all the same mower. It's just different working with. So we have 2.1, 2.2, 2.5, 2.6, 2.8, 3, and 3.2. Customization is the same for the most part all the way around. Different stickers. We have a cover of yes and no and colors. Now, one of my favorite things with this is the cover. You can just take it off. I think it looks great. That's awesome. And another mower, the Lizard Bolt 752. 2 meters at 4 miles an hour, 25 horsepower. Boy, my brain is fried and we ain't even getting started yet. Next up, the Dalbo Multiflex Cultivator, 120 horsepower required on here, 3 meters at 9 miles per hour. Next, we got another variant of cultivators. This is the Lizard HRT Pack. We have 4 of them in here. We've got a 4 meter, 6 meter, 4 meter, and 6 meter of the O1s and the O2s. Just going to be different looks on here, so that's about it. First up with the 4M01, 80 horsepower, 4 meters, 7 miles per hour, and we can throw on some additional weights, which are wheel weights, which is kind of neat. And then we can also change this to any color that you want, and I've said if it's a small cultivator and you can change it to whatever color you want, it becomes more useful for more people. So there is that. It does clip through the weights a little bit, but yeah, whatever. What are you going to do about it? And then we have exactly the same thing in a 6 meter variant. Then here we have kind of a different setup. So there is that as well. These are fairly cheap. Horsepower ratings as well, pretty low. 110 horsepower for a 6 meter cultivator. This may be a great thing to do as a starting piece of equipment. Here's another cultivator, the Lizard 2.7, a little bit more of a conventional look. 20 horsepower, 2.7 meter work width at 9 miles an hour, and it weighs about half a ton, so not too bad. Next one's the Lizard T4000C fuel tank. This only holds fuel, 4,000 liters of it. It weighs 5 tons. Wheel options from Continental, Trelleborg, and that is it. We can throw some twins on there, which look great. Decorative water tank, yes or no on the very top. Decorative is the word there. Quite expensive for a decorative piece. Main color, you can change it to whatever you want. Water tank color at the top, change that to whatever you want. Stripe color, we could change that. Brand decals, we could do that. And then rim colors are rim colors. Next is a dedicated milk tank. No customization. Is from Herculano, the C920. Pretty sure C920 is a Logitech a webcam. 8,000 liter capacity on here. And it's looking good. Lots of details. Next, the FSI ST65T. This was the base game stump grinder for farm sim, at least 17, maybe 19 as well, but I can't really remember from that. So yeah, hey, if you missed this, a little nostalgia for you. Next up, Pto Power Washer from Kelly Monte. 20 horsepower is required on this one. So you've got your power washer hose and then the Pto Power Washer. Very, very interesting little setup right here. They do say to use this, you need to buy the Power Washer hose. So this guy right here, as the Pto Power Washer, is a decoration for realism. So the name of the mod is say pointless? I don't want to say pointless. Let's check this out. All right, so we'll grab the little electric rigid track. We'll come over here and hook up. There we go. And we can turn it on, but that really does nothing. And of course, we cannot interact with this in any way, shape, or form. It is, again, purely there for that. And if we go up and down, there's nothing there. So really, if I'm not mistaken, this is this is really a power washer tool, which I'm pretty sure there's already one of on the Mod Hub. And so they've ended up adding this. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but that's probably what happened. Got a super highly customizable weight for you. The Lizard 600 kg. So it weighs 600 kilograms. As far as stickers go, we can throw yes or no on there. Lower link set on the back. Front warning lights, yes. Front side warning lights, yes. Back warning lights, yes. And more lights, yes. Make color, yes. Design color, yes. That's it. All right. Yes. Also, because the barrel is on there like that, I'm curious to see if it rolls. So I want to put it down. Boo, doesn't roll. That's it for regular mods. So now let's jump over to placeables. First is the large UK cow barn. It's going to cost you $100,000, $100 per day. Holds 150 animals, and we have a tip trigger way up here. All the way down here at the very end. This is where you're going to be buying your cattle. Go ahead and open that up. Click here. 150. Manure does spawn inside, which is super duper cool. Otherwise, there's really not a whole lot more to it. They've done a really good job, especially this. I mean, look at that steel door. Very awesome. And there you go. You've got your slurry down here. Next one's Wyszkowian Cowbarn. $50,000 here. $10 per day. Only a 20 head capacity for cattle, although that is a super cool animation. Check this out. Kind of opens up, lifts out, and then drops down. Super neat. We do have a couple drive-through spots on this side, and then we go around over here. This is where our cattle are. So this is going to be your water. This is where you buy your cows. We can open this door up right here, and it'll swing open, and this is where you feed them. The cattle are purely decorative, so heads up through there. The shed is in an L shape, so you're going to see this is able to be straight driven through. And then we've got some bread here for whenever you are ready for lunch. Next up, we have another cow shed. This is cow shed with garage. The last one was cow shed with garage as well, to be fair. Most of them are. So let's take a look at the garage first. Here you go. Doesn't look like we're able to work on anything, but I don't know if that's even possible. Also, why is everything up in the air? What have I done? Oh, goodness gracious. So there you go. You got a couple little spots where you can open up, all the doors open and stuff like that. And here we can take a look at the milk area. Let's see if we can open this door. Yes, we can, which opens up through there and has a straight drive through. We do not have decorative cattle here. They'll just show up when you buy them, which is over here, 35 head. And then we've got slurry there. Now you can see we have two sheds. This version right here, the very end, is a white stone brick. Down here, we have a gray stone brick. However, those are the only differences between the two. Not a cow barn, but a chicken barn, an old-style European chicken barn. This is from Carl TG, and I didn't know if this was going to be for console or just PC. However, he was able to get this out quite quickly. 120 head of chicken. We also have your spot right there for whenever the eggs spawn, and then we kind of get a sneaky peek if you look around back into the window, but we'll come right here, open up the door, and we have our area. Everything's got collisions, it looks like, so heads up through there. And we can even open up this door here as well, which is super duper cool. Food's gonna go right towards the front door. A lot of animation. Well, there's quite a few animations here, but a lot of detail, which is super neat. You can even open the door here and go inside. That's awesome. Just a regular shed. This is garage. $25,000, $10 per day. Small garage built with old bricks. It's got 3 doors where you can store your machines in it. It is very clean. It is very nice. It's built with old bricks. I think that's about the only thing that's kind of old about it. This looks really good. Super clean. Very, I don't want to say modern-esque. It looks like something like my grandparents would build and put on their property. This is super cool. And a couple houses. First, we have the Polish house. This one's going to be $22,000 with a daily upkeep of $10 per day and a gotcha level of 100 because there's no inside. Same thing goes here for the single family house as well. You can sleep, you can change your clothes in the trash can. But that's about it. The doors don't open, nothing like that. Totally empty. Last placeable is the old residential building. There's actually 4 variants. The one on the left here, we have orange. The one on the right, we have a black roof. However, both are also available with or without a sleep trigger. So basically available as a decoration. However, the decoration is not in decorations. It is in farmhouses. So there's that. It may be better, easier for you, either way. But again, it's 4 models with or without sleep trigger. And we got a couple maps. The first one is Gatehead Farm 22. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, it's because back in Farming Simulator 19, MJ Modding released that map. This one has been converted by Marv. So, hey, if you've been wanting to play Gatehead Farm, it is here now. All the buildings have been made by MJ Modding. Got 137 fields on here, small, medium, and large sizes. 8 farms, 3 yards, BGA, dairy production, etc. You can even own a campsite on here, which is pretty cool. 11 sell points, custom traffic, custom road textures. It does say MTA, which is multi-terrain angle, but that's going to be PC only. It's not possible for consoles, at least in Farming Simulator 22. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, 25. We also have multi-fruit on here. There are a ton of fruits. You may be able to see on the right-hand side, some of these colors have changed. For example, sunflowers are now red, soybeans now blue, sorghum is now a brighter yellow, and then if we pop over, we have a lot more stuff on here as well. So we have rye, millet, poppy, mustard, beans, peas, lentils, alfalfa, red clover, white clover, onion, linseed, buckwheat, chickpeas, silage, sorghum, triticale, spelt, and horsegrass. Now, if you are using, I believe it is Maize Plus on the PC version, because there's a PC version of this as well. We'll talk about that later on in the video. That silage sorghum doesn't work anymore, so you'll have to fix that. And you have to do that on your own. Console players don't have to do that. Yay, it just works. Let's take a look at the PDA itself. What do we get? Well, we get farmland number 2, which is split across a map, or a road rather, and then we've got farmland number 49, which includes 2 fields. Some of that is kind of like that. Some of these pair up 2 fields. You can buy the outside of the map for $4.689 million if you want to. And then it kind of everything else around like you would expect. Here's your growth calendar. It does look like it's been changed a little bit. And then you can see your growth for everything else down there at the bottom. Some of the stuff has changed. Some of it has not. As far as custom crops and products rather into here, if we take this and go all the way down, of course, we can see all of the new crops which have been added. And then we have other things as well, like our fermented stuff, our haze, and things like that, which is very neat. Taking a look at owned items, we have in medium tractors the Massey 6718S and the John Deere 7810. We have a Topliner 4090 and trailers, the Kloss Carrot. We have the Topliner 4090 header. We have the POV plow from Agromass. Nice cultivator. We have a Power Harrow, which matches up with our seeder. Got a good sprayer, slurry spreaders from Schouten. We also have a K-branded mower and tedder. We have an Smaz windrow and a K-branded baler. Over in Bale Wagons, we've got the Farm Tech. We've got quite a few things for animal husbandry, as well as a front loader, some front loader tools, header trailer, and a weight. It's a pretty cool farm, and here is your main farm area if you wanted to take a quick sneaky peek at it. Again, should look fairly familiar to you guys if you played it in Farming Simulator 19. One of the great news is no required mods. Forgot how to say required mods. Oof, had a brain fart. Let's move on. And lastly, finally, for all platforms, we have Greenwood Forest. This farm has challenging grounds around it, covered with forestry on all sides. You can have a few fields on this farm. The vast majority of the map is covered with forest, as you can see. Very sparse forest, I'll give it that much. It's a fictional map set in a wooded area. Naturally. Now, if we jump around, take a look, right here is going to be our main farm. So I kind of want to poke around to that and see what we can see. And we can see that it's, well, a big circle with some buildings kind of placed around it. Not the best way that I would do that. Probably just come through here and delete these. And funny enough, I think 3 of these are required mods. Gotta love that. Couldn't just use base game equipment for it. No. As far as everything else, I mean, it's a logging map, man. Here's what you get. You get that chunk up there. You can buy them in little itty bitty chunks if you want to. We do own the waterway, which is kind of nice. And then for everything else, it's quite expensive to purchase. So hopefully you're going to be doing some logging. If not, you're going to be plowing around a bunch of trees. That's about all I got for you on that one. Let's take a look. There's no custom crops as you would probably expect. Here is your growth calendar. If we take a look, we're not going to be seeing any custom crops from the map itself, so don't be expecting those. And the things that we get in New Farmer, we have the Fendt Vario as well as the Massey Ferguson and another Massey Ferguson as well. Some nice small tractors there. Ross Smash Nova, Velger Tipper, we have a Ross Smash Header, small plow, small cultivator, small seeder. We do get the Kelsa 144ND as well as the Prinith SF 900, so it should make things a little bit easier doing some logging. We got the front loader tools, and a few weights. And there are a few required mods, but I'm not exactly sure which ones are which because they're not listed on the website. But here's what I had to download. Jumping over to our updates for all platforms. First was the Pinnacle 6x4 tanker version 322. New fill type added for diesel. New fill type logos added to the tanker, and filling and discharging speeds have been increased. Next up, Blizzard Warrior Plus version 1001. They've added the Warrior MT. Blizzard Neo Pack version 1.1 added Inverta 4000 with attachments and adjusted prices. Hero 3 version 1.1, new V mask and color added. Lastly, for all platforms was an up down to Millstown version 1001. New save is not required for this. They fixed issue with contracts, fill types not accepted here, and increased storage capacity at concrete pavers and stone mill factories. One thing to note, some contracts with the fill types not accepted here may still exist in your save. Once it expires, all newly generated contracts should be good to go. Jumping over to new ones for PC and Mac players. First, we have the KZS 9-1. This is a combine harvester for you guys. 235 horsepower with a manual transmission, 4 to 75 liters of fuel, 14 miles an hour, 6,700 liter capacity, and it weighs 8.3 tons. As far as your wheels, we have Michelin, Trelleborg, and that is it. You do have standard, wide, and wider protection grids. So all this stuff is labeled in numbers. So it's going to be 1 and 2. Fuel tank, we have 1 and 2. Decals, 1 and 2. Device, we have old number 2, and new. We also have a new number 1, number 2. There you go. Main colors all there. We've got quite a few. We also have design colors and design number 2 as well. There you go. It's not a design at all, actually. Is that around the window? Sure is. We also have a fuel tank, which fuel tank also changes the lights on the front, and the rims, which are rims. Thank goodness. As for attachments, we have quite a few of them. We'll just kind of start at the very ends. We have a header trailer for main and rim colors. We also have a corn header, 5.6 meters. We also have another 5.6 meter one. Not amazingly sure what the difference is between both of these. They look exactly the same to me and do the same stuff. We also have a pipe right here, the PKN, which will give you your swath. We also have a regular combine header right here, and we got a couple different ends to go on the ends and covers. So 6 meters there. We also have a 7 meter working with version as well, and we have a raw smash corn header, which will go on there too. And then lastly, we have a picker, which works with the swathing add-on, which is a required mod for this, by the way. So if you want this combine, you have to have the swathing mod. But let's be real, probably have that anyway. Next up, we have the Raxor 6300 Blackhawk. Now, we show this off for the all-platform version, so make sure you go check that out if you missed it. However, this one will also do potatoes in addition to the sugar beets. But as far as I can tell, that's kind of it. Also, I did find it interesting with the Crossplay version, real dashboard and GPS was still an option. I mean, you can select them if you want to waste your money, but it's not going to do anything on the Crossplay version. Just PC's fine, though. Just stick with that. Next is our Talex OptiCut. And if these look familiar to you, yes, we talked about these for the all-platform mods. This is the PC-only version of them. So we have the 2.1 meter working with. We also have the 2.2, 2.5, 2.6, 2.83, and 3.2 meter working with. We do have different setups for the safeguard, different setups for your sticker on the end, cover yes and no, which may be one of the first things other than the with the sickle bar mowers that have a cover or lack thereof really. And then you got main colors, and that's it. 3 meter cultivator alert, better watch yourself. We have the Fermstal, which you can't tell because they use the black logo with no outline whatsoever, so it looks like there's no logo. 3 meter cultivator, man. It's exactly what it is. You see a harrow or a regular harrow, but joke's on us. They're all cultivators, I guess. The next mod is a bit of a weird one, and I'm trying to get it sorted. There's stuff that I can't physically get. This is the corn production pack, and it adds corn stuff, all kinds of stuff. Let's look at it. So it replaces the regular corn that we already had for corn kernels with corn kernels. And then it also adds a bunch of other chips, corn chips, oils, corn cob. But there's a few here that I can't quite figure out. Also ignore these that say air. They're just extra other bits of the crop. It's really neat, but I don't know how to get these. Ear of corn, and dried ear of corn. Because you, with this mod alone, as far as I could tell, you can't just get an ear of corn. I've tried harvesting. It's just not happening. I just keep getting corn kernels, and that's it. So I don't know how to get these, but they exist. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you could take these and you could do a couple things with them. So we have some production chains on the map, and we've got a couple things that have been added. They're all base game equipment, or base game bits of building, so you're not going to be getting anything brand new or super mega exciting here. These are just to replace what's there so that you can do this. But again, I don't know how to get ears of corn with husks or just regular ears of corn. The mod doesn't tell me how to do that. So I unfortunately can't tell you either. Hey, if you know, let me know. It's not been reviewed very well, so I'm guessing nobody else knows either. Whatever. Regardless, it just takes all of the productions that are in the game and adds your different corns. You've also got a corn dryer that comes with it, which is in the form of the Pharma 4000. You could use it as a silo, but it's also got everything, or all kinds of other stuff as well. As you can see, wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum. Those things are just one in, one out. It doesn't cost you anything, which is great. Just kind of works as a silo. It's like an immediate production, if you will. I kind of like this. It's pretty sweet. But we do have a dried corn where you put regular corn in and get dried corn out, which is showing as air right here, but it's because I have a mod that, well, this doesn't support. They conflict with each other. So there's another thing there. Then we have silo corn and silo dried corn, which is, again, a one in, one out kind of thing. Ignore the fact that it says air. And that's really about it. I mean, we have a threshing factory, which is great, but ears of corn are the input. And I don't know how to get those. So that's cool. I mean, it's really neat. If I knew how to get ears of corn, I could review this properly. But it doesn't say. And I don't know. Next. Yeah, let's move on. Next new one for PC players is called Tanker Universal Fill. This is very, very interesting. So this mod enhances your gameplay by allowing you to store any liquid in any tanker. While the tanker trailer will display only the intended liquids for a specific type in store, you can now fill it with any liquid that you choose. For instance, a trailer that's originally designed for water, well, you could then store milk and other liquids in it without any restrictions. And if we look at our screenshots, it kind of shows us that. So here's water, for example, in a trailer that we know only will hold fuel. And here's a trailer that only holds water that's holding fuel. The opposite of that. Very cool. Also, here's the Joskin holding some liquid fertilizer, which is very cool. Great uses of that. Next up for PC and Mac players is Gatehead Farm 22. As far as I can tell, this is basically the crossplay version. However, it also accepts your Maize Plus. So if that's what you're looking for on PC, there you go. Otherwise, I think the crossplay version will be just fine. Lastly, we have a new map called The Ranch, Colorado, which is based in the United States. They say this map takes you to the heart of the USA, where vast landscapes and the majestic mountains of Colorado await. They say, I do not, that it's perfect for players who want to specialize in cattle farming on large pastures. But to me, I don't think the pastures are big enough. They're barely big enough. Crop farming as well on here, and you can do, well, anything that you want. The name is very, very heavy-handed on there. Now, first things first, I'm going to show you how to get a new farmer mode, and then we're going to go poke around and look at these cattle areas, because that is what you're probably going to want to look for. So, we've got 65 down here, 31, 12, number 4 on the left-hand side, some bits in the middle, and one on the right, as well as down over here. This is a mix of forestry, fields, flatland, land where there's nothing, and so on. So now that you've seen that, I'm going to buy everything and we're gonna go take a look at these cattle. So then here are your animal pens. Down here at the bottom we have Modern Cowbarn. We also have Big Barn East. Right down through here we've got another Center Barn, spelled wrong, and a Horse Barn. I'd say it, man. And then you've got a few other little bits and bobs around. We are not going to be messing around with the horses. So since we've got 3 cattle pens, let's take a look at them. Let's start over here with the Modern Cowbarn. Let's drop down, take a look, and 400. Now, to most of you guys, that may seem like plenty. However, when I play normally, I'm running with 1,000 to 5,000. That's a lot to me. So maybe this is just a me thing and not a the map thing. But it would be nice if there was, I don't know, a lot more. It's a PC map. We can do this. Let's go over here, take a look and see what we got here. 350, even less. So between those 750, let's take a look at Cowbarn Center. Where do we buy the cows at? All the way at the other side, apparently. And over here, 275. So about 1,025 cattle you can run on here. Now, sure, that sounds like a lot, but it'd be a lot more cool to run like 5,000 or 10,000. Is that just me? Maybe that's just me. Anyway, nonetheless, here's everything else. We'll go ahead and load back up all the other stuff. There's plenty of places to sell. The fields are not absolutely massive, maybe like you would want them to be, but they still are sufficient nonetheless. There are no custom crops that I can find in here. If we go down, you can see your growth calendar there. And if we just kind of scroll through all of this, it looks like we have base game crops. Although there are a few new things that have been thrown in here, I'm not sure if those are on the map or maybe those are for a required mod of something else. As always, here's what you get in new farmer mode. We got a small tractor, the Xylon 524 from the FarmCon pack. We also have the McCormick X7, John Deere 4755, and the 7810, as well as the T560 Combine Harvester. In cars, we have the TLX 1982 as a required mod. We also have the John Deere XUV. In tippers, we have 2 Rudolph trailers. We have the Honeybee Airflex header. That's going to be another required mod. We've got a smaller plow, cultivator, power harrow, which matches with your seeder. We also have a planter and slurry tanker, as well as a couple mowers, tedder, windrower, baler with a wrapper on the back, some stuff for tending to your animals, as well as a few animal transports. We've got some front loaders, front loader tools, header trailers on there, and of course a few weights. And of course, here are your required mods. Lastly, let's talk about the updates that dropped for PC and Mac players. First one's the new Holland CX 7 and 8 2001, the 2006 version 1.1.2. Moving elements, fully working using mouse, fixed decal positions, some visual errors, fuel consumption modified, extra handle to access the harvester, real GPS changed to dashboard live to give you better realism inside. Also, Combine XP implemented. Please add the mod vehicle control add-on implement. I think they mean implemented better realism and reverse camera position corrected. Next up, the Kraz 65032 version 1102 corrected the decal on the hood, corrected truck weight, and corrected gearbox. Additional game settings version 1202 fixed a bug with the game crashing when the trailer fill indicator was visible. Headland Management version 234 contour guidance along processed area reworked, and the SDF Pack 2.0 farming goods added. Mouse steering version 1.1 added localization IT, added support for multiplayer, added synchronization of vehicle wheel steering, added logic considering engine status, added information when wheels cannot be turned, added option to open the keyboard control setting from the control menu, improved the vehicle dialog layout for longer text, fixed camera rotation for worker and passenger, and fixed incorrect text formatting in the mouse control menu slider. AnimalFoodOverview version 1.13, TerraLife Plus compatibility, Italian translation, and minor GUI adjustments. Enter closest vehicle version 1.01, keyboard shortcut did not work in some cases. I don't know if that's been fixed or not, but it's a statement. Lubricating Grease version 2.3.01. Fixed warnings in the log file. And lastly, we have Krasylivka version 1.0.1. New game save is recommended for this. They've added calf farms for Mr. Hector, although I don't know if the map actually adds them or not. Kind of seems like it doesn't. Also, many small visual and other fixes. And that is it. Like and subscribe. Do all the stuff and join the DjGoHam fam. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hate not being able to put mod videos out when everything's dropping. Just unavailable, man. This was a busy last few days. I can't wait to show you more. It's going to be a few more days before you're going to see anything. So just keep an eye out. Get subscribed if you're not. That way you don't miss it. Otherwise, have a good one. We'll see you later.